Hello everybody. Welcome to the stream. How's everybody doing? Oh no, I checked. I literally checked every single one. Now Twitch has decided it would start slot. It's literally like the craziest game that I have to do here. It's like, oh, Facebook starts loud and then everything else starts loud and it's just craziness. Okay, what is going on here? I'm going to delete this. Sorry, my thing's like really choppy, so let's just, no. Okay. Oh, I have to click all the things. That's silliness. Okay, never mind. I'll try and fix it later. So hopefully you guys are doing okay. What is the matter? Maybe if I do this, is that better? Okay, let's try that. Okay, do you want down? What's the matter, Buck? Okay. Anyway, sorry. There's always a technical. Why? No, bro. Come on. Sorry. Do hang on. Ay. Why would this not be the case? Figure out OBS with Aaron. Yay! Okay. Sorry, guys. There we go. Ha! Okay, now we're gonna be here for some actual art. Why would I want that, Twitch? Come on, guys. Like, quite seriously. Why? I'm sorry, guys. My computer's having, like, a hissy fit. Everything just went full screen for no freaking reason, so do apologize for the delay here. You know what? I'll be right back. Hang on a second. I might need to have a timeout. I'm so sorry, everybody. Quite literally, I was just explaining the technical difficulties getting this started. I am so sorry. Dan, welcome to the stream. RB, welcome to the stream. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, I loaded this up and my video wasn't working, and then all my chats kind of decided to go full screen for no reason. All the chaos. Anyway. Dan says on Facebook, we can hear you now. That's the magic of live streaming. Yep, we're all live. Let it all go. All right, so we are back. Time for some art. Finally, what feels like half an hour in. We are back with some tarot now. If you were on the stream last week, if you joined me on the stream, thank you. Yes, repeat what I said. So if you joined the stream last week, I did mention that I was hoping to get to traditional and getting some watercolor or some markers or something in here. Unfortunately, my apartment getting is kind of taking a little bit more of my energy and resources. I'm on the last leg. I'm almost there. But all my tools are buried right now. So we are back with some tarot, which I desperately need to get caught up on too. So that's what we're here for. So a little background into this character while I am getting myself oriented here. This is the Ringmaster. This actually is not a character in the book at all. But I also felt like it was something that had to be here. Like, you have to have a ringmaster. Like, there's kind of a guy who's in charge of the circus. Charge of the circus. Who's kind of like the producer, I guess, of it. And he comes up later. We have one of the major arcana cards that he comes up in. But there's no official ringmaster. Like, the circus kind of just lives on its own, and it kind of does its own thing and kind of just lives its own life. So there's not really like a big tent or anything like that, but I felt like the circus needed one, and that this card kind of was going to help me with that. So it helped fill a card that I didn't really have a scene or a character for, and also kind of gives me a little bit of opportunity to kind of add my own little touch to the circus that we are working on. So we have our circus. He's introducing us to our tent. Come on in. Let's see what we have here. We can see we've got some performers and some jugglers, which are going to get their own card as well a little bit later. So we're at the point, as you can see, I've got all my shadows and stuff on. So we're going to switch it up and do some stained glass coloring. Oh my goodness gracious. You guys are the most patient watching me do all of these things. So maybe ahead of that, let's instead do some of this splatter paint, because that's always really fun to do. So what is everybody up to? Fill me in. What's going on? I know Alessandra's buried under snow. I know that people have been sick. People have been moving. People have been all over the place. So fill me in. How are we doing? Are we all healthy? Are we feeling good? Harvey's resting. What's that like? Tell me everything. A long day today. Oh man. Well, I hope it was a good long day. This is what I'm looking for. Not a stressful long day. That would be awful. Would you like down? Why are we being saucy pants? Okay, say hi everybody. Mother says hi. Ugh. There you go, bud. Good job. Okay, so instead of just doing the little pieces that we're always doing, we're going to do the big splattery ones, because those are lots of fun. And I'm going to do the paint inside, because that gives me, oh, it's not a multiply layer. Let's try a multiply layer. So this fills all of the space that I want it to fill, but stays within the shape that I'm doing. So we've done this a little bit recently, in that using this kind of paint inside feature to help me speed up the process a little bit, and then fill those spaces without me having to lasso quite literally everything. And then if I turn the eraser on and then turn the paint inside off, so when you put paint inside on in Fresco, it's going to stay on for your eraser and your brushes. I'm sure there's a really good use case for that. In this case, I don't want the paint inside, because I'm going to run the eraser kind of down close to the lines. And if the pencil hits where the line is, it's going to erase inside the line, so it's not going to do what I want it to do. So I'm turning the paint inside off, just so I don't have to think about that too hard. And just bring our edge back. Now we're probably not saving a wild amount of time, because I'm doing this instead of the lasso at the start. It's a little less cleanup. It's a little less chaos and I have a little bit more control over this. Alessandra's in the chat. Buried under the snow. How are things going? This is the stream of technical difficulties. Welcome. Happy Monday. Software update at work today, which did not go smooth, so I feel like I did nothing at work today. Just troubleshooting and restarting my computer a lot. 15 Celsius where you are, RB. Holy cow. It was not 15s here. It wasn't freezing. It's been a lot colder, but we've been buried. It got warm and rainy, and then we got snow again. So that's what's happening here. Still the same, but cooked and cleaned and ate dinner and washed dishes. Very productive evening. I love that. I've been doing the cleaning around here, which is why we're doing tarot again and not traditional work as I discussed as a potential option. Because I'm almost done. It's going to be amazing in here when I'm finished. It's just that nitpicky, really like frustrating stuff that's left. Those little odds and ends that don't quite all go together. Oy, oy, oy. They all have like a space, but then you're not really sure, and then it's that weird part. But I got quite a bit done on that today, so hoping one more day of attack. This is the first like art I've got to sit down and do in the past little while, so it feels nice. Because the Olympics have been on, so I've been too like into that to watch. Be doing too much art while I'm watching. Now those are done. And soon the apartment will be clean. I can go back to my regularly scheduled programming. Oy, oy, oy. How did your stream go yesterday, Alessandra? I saw people were online, but I was up here moving boxes and cleaning things and making a mess and cleaning up the mess, then making more mess and cleaning up that mess. Oy, oy, oy. What did I think of the Olympics? I was pretty happy with them. It's always fun to watch kind of like those like crazy sports you never get to watch. There was some drama in places and there was some disappointments in places. But overall, always an entertaining thing to watch. Especially in the winter because it's all crazy things on ice with blades. It's all nutsoid. So it's a lot of fun. I enjoy the Olympics. Your stream was good. That's good. And I'm always doing something. Yes. Yes, I am. Despite all my efforts to sit and relax and watch everybody else's streams on a more regular basis, I'm always doing something. There's so much to do. I'm only one person. It might be glitching. I'm trying not to have it glitch. Oh dear. I gotta clean up my OBS. I think there's too much happening with the Creative Gems stuff and everything. Oy, 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 oy. And there might be some conflicts with the like new upgrades and things. Like I just got a new upgrade on my software on my computer, which was part of our technical difficulties because it did not play the game as originally discussed. So yeah, it's been a thing. But yeah, the weekends are pretty full. Always doing something. But hoping that once this apartment gut is done, or at least in a better place, I'll be able to do some more streams on the weekends. Hope the video is playing the game a little bit better now. Alexander's working on making paint swatches for acrylic gouache paint. I haven't used gouache in a very long time. I had some for when I was in school. And I remember enjoying it. Like, I remember liking it because it's almost like, I found it was like a watercolor acrylic almost. Like, it kind of works like acrylic, but then works like watercolor a bit. But I did not use it long enough to be very familiar with it. But it's a pretty good medium. That sounds like fun. I do want to get to traditional things. That's definitely on the list. To get some beautiful watercolors out. I owe a friend has requested some art for their baby's room. Oh, paint inside you. For their kids' room. I just need to finish the watercolor, so I'm hoping to do that on the live stream soon. I want to get my hands dirty. But I also very much need to get caught up on these cards. We're working week to week right now, and that's exactly what I did not want to be doing. So I need them to be a little more ahead so that I can get them launched on time. Boop, boop. Okie dokie artichoke. Save. Oh, freaking squirrels. I'm just checking. It is glitching out, eh? That's very annoying. Okay, maybe that'll be better. I'm just gonna try and move this around. Sorry, guys. This is how live streaming works. Proof that it's live. Good Lord. How many cards do I have left? I have 26 left. I had to pause because I did this math the other day. We're almost there. But the ones that I have left, like, it's not like I've left any... none of them are easy, but there's some that are like the rings, and a few other things that are like more simple illustrations. I'm running out of those, as in like I'm out of those. So all the cards are just kind of like a little bit more elaborate, so I just like want to be careful how I handle things, but I know it's going to come out together really nicely. I just haven't had as much time to work on these as I would normally like. It's just because I've decided to completely revamp my entire living space. So yeah, but I'm almost done. And I can get back on track. Now, did I multiply this? I did. I love when that happens. Okay, let's see if that works. Yeah, so we're on track. I just prefer to be a little bit more ahead should something come up or I want to work on something else for a little bit, you know. How's the video playback, Alessandra? Are you finding that it's still glitching? I changed a few of my settings, but I think I just need to kind of like clear out what OBS is trying to do here. Seems fine now. Excellent. Fabulous news. Thank you so much. Now, how do I want to handle? No glitch here. Excellent. I love that. So Alessandra, do you have any shows coming up? Are you good? RB, you had a long day today, or do you have like big client work to work on? Dan, are you feeling better? What's everybody up to? Alessandra says, I almost didn't stream because my OBS laptop and camera needed to update. Oh gosh. That's super frustrating. Always when you have like important, okay, knock it off. Always when you have important streaming business. How disrespectful. I know it's always when mine goes sideways. Like I said, I got like not a computer upgrade, a software upgrade on my computer. And I did all these tests to make sure that the live stream would play the game. And it didn't. You know how it is. Big task to complete, RB. Oh my goodness. Yes, that's always the tricky thing, Alessandra. Which upgrade do you do first? Yes, we had a similar issue at work today. It's like, okay, if this isn't working, do this, then this. And then if that's not working, then do this, then that. But don't do this before that. And updates rarely go smooth, so it's always a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I'm glad you were able to figure it out and that people were able to assist, because it can be stressful. It should just be simple, but rarely is. And always right before a stream, too, of course. So I find like an app or something like that will always need to be updated or logged into whenever you need to use it. Like there's some apps out there, like I only open it when I need to use it, and you keep logging me out. Sillies. What I should have done here is maintain my selection. I didn't learn from past me. Oh no. have this selection, but the other ones I have to like redo. I am keeping, like, going over some of the colors here just to save myself a little bit of frustration down the line, which I'll show you in a second. We're just going to do our overlay scene here. See, this way I don't have to do that 2 times. Silly Aaron. Alright. See, now I have to reselect this like a silly person. In the recent past, you'll have seen me do both the light and dark at the same time, just on different layers, so I don't have to do this again. But you know, it's Monday. Antoine's in the chat. Welcome to the stream. I forgot our rituals. Yeah, I take 1 week off. I throw off the whole groove. And everybody can forget. That's okay. I do the same thing. How are things going? We were just getting caught up with Alessandra and with RB. Buried in the snow, in the really big warmth for RB. It's all been a time. It's all been a time. I'm not buried in snow, but there is definitely snow happening and snow coming. I'm playing right now Assassin's Creed Shadow. You know, it's so addictive. I believe that. I haven't played video games in a long time basically for that reason. You guys would not see me on the live streams. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to play this instead. So addictive. Make a snow castle. You should make a snow castle. That would be awesome. All in the games. I love it. Everybody's got fun hobbies. And it's cool to have people who are like into these things because I can learn about it from them. It's very cool. Neighbor made a very tall snowman with a scarf and everything. Yes, you should make them a castle. And then they would be friends and they would go hang out and have like a tea party or something. Do a snowman tea party. I'm really tired. I'm sorry. Antoine says, I made a little pause about music. Need to recharge myself. Fair enough. Yes, one of those things that I think all of us fall into, regardless of hobby. I think I did that. I always will do that now and again. You're just drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing, and you're like, why do I not feel good? Why am I dizzy? Oh, I haven't eaten in like such a long time. Or I need to stop looking at the screen and my eyes feel like raisins. We've all been there. I get it. I think I want to put a gap here. I'm trying to figure out where to put our spaces here. Okay, so I'm going to put a line here. Just trying to find where I need my separation. I think it makes more sense here with the shadow next to it. without making it too busy. He's a very fancy guy. Okay, and then we're going to clean this bit up. See, this is part of what I was trying to do. I did all the red there just to reduce the amount of lasso that I had to put in. So I'm just going to erase that. We want his brass buttons to be very, very fancy. Alright, and I think I did the same over here. Okay. Oh dear, gas. Almost, Alexander says she's almost done with the animal prints. Just have to add the stickers to the 17 ones I recently did. Holy, 17. That is so much. I love it. Definitely, if you're not watching Alexander's streams, definitely check them out because they are a lot of fun and she does some really fun animal characters. Ooh, RB has 2 more to draw for his coloring book, I assume. Do you know what the 2 animals are? And would you share with us? You don't have to if you don't want to. Totally fine. Need time. Dude, I get it. I need I've always said I'm not going to be greedy. I want like 5 more hours in a day. I get so much time. I'd probably just add more to the list if we're being serious. Alessandra says I'm on a break and I'm going to do some painting. I'm going to try to do something different for a bit. That's nice. Too busy with other stuff. That's totally fair. I understand that. I'm busy with all the things too. I get it. I get it. Okay, so let's get... we already have that selected, so let's do this and get the chapeau sorted out here. I think, maybe not. I thought that brush might be too big. There's always another stuff, right? There's always something else filling the space. As long as it's fun stuff, I guess. Or necessary stuff. Okay, so what we're going to do. Yeah, we're going to do this one first. Because secretly. Hey, hang on, buddy, you're okay. Because my favorite ones to do, the highlights, are like the highlights on the stained glass. It just makes it pop. It makes it look like it glows. It's my favorite thing. Oh, one thing I did miss. We're going to do the shoes. We didn't do the shoes! Our B says, I guess if it goes for American market's got to be an eagle. Eagle's got so much potential. There's so much cool potential with an eagle. And like coloring feathers, it's like so satisfying. It's a good choice. You could lean Canadian and go Canada Goose or loon. Those are always fun. Actually, a loon might be kind of fun right now because I'm not sure if heated rivalry is a big deal over there. But there's a scene, it's a big deal here, and the show is anyway. And there's a scene where one of the characters, he's Russian, and he's out at a cottage and experiencing like a Canadian kind of camping scenario for the first time. And I'm going to screw up the thing, but he hears a loon for the first time and it freaks him out. And he's like, he calls it a crazy Canadian wolf bird. It's hilarious. So that would be like really popular right now. So that would hit really well. Or a moose. A moose would be an excellent one. The antlers and all that fur. So much potential. So I'm going to put my hat in the ring for those. But yeah, go with what feels right. That is the most important part. So yeah, anyway, the loon would be really popular right now. Just saying. All right, on to my favorite part, which is the highlights. Like I said, I love how it makes it all glow and make it all pop. Where's my favorite? Especially on the red. Like, this is good. The red's my favorite. Excuse me. Pew, pew. Make it pop, not burst. Jazz it up a bit. Insert designer cliche here. Jazz it up a little bit. All those fun designer cliches. Oh, I didn't put the painting sword on. There we go. There we go. Make sure I'm not missing anything on the other chats. Okay, excellent. Excellent. No. Now I do have to be careful with the overlay ones because I have a multiply set on the brush, which means that like when you see me putting in the shadows and things, I'm able to make it darker and darker and darker and darker, just gradually, which is what I prefer. It gives me, it helps me with building of values and things. But when you're using a lighter color, it does this weird, like I'm going to try it here. It does like this weird like burn to it, like it brings it down. So with these, I'm going to undo that because I don't like those. So I just have to be careful not to like lift my pencil too often when I'm doing the light ones, because I want that effect on for the shadows and things without having to change my brush settings too often. So I try and throw the highlight down on the first go so that I don't have to worry about changing settings and forgetting what they should be and all that kind of fun madness. Holy cow, how is it 20 to 8 already? Oh, I don't want this on. That's what is happening. And then like with the paint inside, instead of having to do all those little, like I said, it saves me from doing those lassos, but then I'm not handling each individual section separately on these erases. I can follow the whole line down across, because the eraser brush is thicker than the line, so I can follow it and get both sides kind of evenly. And then this way I don't have to do each one individually. They kind of are handled in a more uniform way. Oops. There is a pressure sensitivity on the erasers, so I have to be careful. If I push too hard, I'm going to take away too much of my highlight. Oops, nope. Switched my brush by accident. There we go. Oops. Anybody have any crazy plans for this week? My whole plan, a lot of my plans involved watching the Olympics. Now the Olympics are over. I don't remember what I did. Okay, I'll fill the time, not to worry. Whoops, that was aggressive. See, it does look like it's glowing. What a cool coat. I want this coat. So fancy. Alright, duplicate and clear the layer. Excuse me, so sorry. Well, we already have the red selected. We'll do that first. Penny, I was just thinking I hadn't seen you in a while. I'm so glad you're here. And you were doing your taxes. What a responsible human being. We were talking about taxes today and how it's one of those things that sneaks up on me every year. Every year. You're so responsible. Good for you. I hope you get a big fancy return. I hope we all get fancy returns. Penny the Wise. How are things going, Penny? So nice to see you here. So money. Yeah, I know. Now that I'm not a student anymore, that's definitely the case. There's that one that doesn't carry quite properly. I hear it. I hear it. Not bad. My work schedule changed, so my sleep's been off. Ah, oh, brutal. That's brutal. Schedule change that affects sleep. It's not. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. I hope you're still able to have some creative minutes at home, and that your sleep figures itself out shortly. All right, thanks for joining, RB. Have a good night. Looking forward to seeing your fancy Canadian bird / moose illustrations. Thank goodness. Thank goodness you're finished the taxes. Yeah, I like to kind of like sit down and like one and done them if I can. Because it's so tedious process, and then I don't know about the American version, but when I sign on, there's always like single sign on, one time you'll be signed in, we'll remember you, and I have to like get a code like what feels like every 10 minutes. I'm like, just keep me signed in. It's not single sign on if I have to sign on every time. Sheesh. So it just becomes like a process that just is not my favorite. You know? Sheesh. Okay. Did I get them all? I didn't get the other one. Use TurboTax, so I pay for a tax expert to do it with me in video. Oh, that's really cool. That's a good idea. Especially if you have like complicated things in there. I don't want to forget something. So that's a really good idea. That's awesome. Always good to have a sanity check. Do, 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 do. I think it was last year. I remembered like taxes. It was well in enough time, but it was one of those things like, ugh, I gotta do my taxes. And my coworker and I were coming back from coffee, and I was like, oh, taxes. Adulting is so much work. And my boss just laughed because she's like, can you tell my daughter that? Can you tell her? I'm like, I will tell her the to-do lists that come with adulting. And it's just me. I don't have like kids and stuff. I do have a mojo. But like, holy cow. Every year? Sheesh. Darn adulting. Darn adulting you didn't learn about in school, so you have to figure it out as a grown-up. What the heck? Time to do glow in the dark acrylics. What? Oh man. I gotta find me some of those. Because it'd be super cool to have like a painting, but then have like the glow in the dark painting so that like it changes. Kind of like do like a beautiful lady, like watercolor or acrylics or something, and then put the glow in the dark ones on her face. So like when it's dark, she does like a Day of the Dead kind of thing, or like has like really funky like makeup or something on. So good. Alessandra fell victim to what most of us fell victim to. After I organized my art space, I found a lot of art materials I forgot I had. Yes. The glory of the studio clean. I hear it. I'm doing the same thing. Just being like, oh man. Or there's a few I'm like, I thought I got rid of that last time. Thank goodness it's still here. Yeah. No, we want to play with them all. Like the way my reorganization has worked is provided me with a lot of space, shockingly enough. And so I'm very eager to use that space to have different art projects set up so that we can do some traditional work here on the live streams. It's gonna be good business. Nice to refresh your brain with a clear space. You have to be in the right headspace to do it. Otherwise I just keep everything, which is not that goal. I'm gonna leave the swatches out, and if I get scared in the middle of the night wondering what's glowing, then I'll know it worked. Excellent. Well, don't draw like scary faces. Like just do like flower swatches or smiley face swatches. Don't do like eyeballs or anything. That would be scary. That would be too much. Alrighty. Oh, we gotta do his boots. We almost forgot the boots again. Sheesh. Poor guy. Oh, Erin. Get it together, woman. I didn't put the right feature on. That would have made a huge mess for me to clean up later. Sheesh. Or what you could do is like leave them out in the dining room or something. And then when it's like the morning time, you're like, what the heck is that? Like, I've been moving things around in my kitchen, so I unplugged my coffee maker, and now it's like flashing the 12 o'clock. And I haven't fixed it because I'm not certain that I'm leaving it where it is. I'm like, don't want to keep resetting the clock. But I did come out in the morning, and it is a very bright clock. I was like, what is happening? Am I being abducted? What's going on? Alessandra says, oh, if I draw eyes, I'm going to be karateing in them. Well, don't do that. You don't want to karate the art. Unless it's part of your process, in which case, you do you. But, you don't want to be stressed when you wake up. You want to be, like, relaxed and, like, mellow, man. Now I really want to get my paints out. I don't have any glow-in-the-dark paints. I don't think. They're glow-in-the-dark. They're glowing in the dark in the drawer. Being wasted. But I don't have glow-in-the-dark ones. That sounds like so much fun. Alien kitchen abduction, yeah. It's this bright blue flashing light, and I was like, what the heck is going on? It's like, you think like a coffee maker light. It can't be that aggressive. That's really aggressive. Why do I have what then? I forget what I was talking about. No, I would love to have gold. Oh, I do have paints, and they're in the drawers, but that's just so that they're not out to be used. I was thinking of like if they were glowing in the dark, like if I had glow in the dark paints, like I had paints that I didn't know glue in the dark, they would just be glowing in the drawer, and I wouldn't know that they're glowing. But I'm 99.9% certain I don't have glow in the dark paints, unless they've gone bad and are now glowing for some reason. No, I just have regular paints, which I'm going to get out soon because I miss them. Now, okay, we only have a few minutes left, but what I'm going to do, because I'm thinking our jugglers look a little too close. Like, I'm going to be treating them with some, like, stained glass or some, like, of our usual effects. And I'm going to be adding, like, a little bit. Let's do this first. Let's get the gray happening. Oops, 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 oops. Okay, so what I want to do is just add a little bit of darkness to some of these. Giving it a little bit more depth. Just a little bit. And then what I think I'm going to do, now what colors do I have? Okay, the challenge here is that I've used lots of different colors on both the ringmaster and our jugglers. So we have to do a little bit more lasso work here. I was kind of hoping that I used different patterns that I could kind of layer it in a way that will make this slightly easier. Oh, no, I gotta get closer. Luckily, I have these nice thick lines that I can. I don't have to be too precise with this lasso. But what I want to do is, even though there's some kind of dark spaces in the background here, whoops, cancel that one. I want to put a little bit of the gray over our jugglers so that I knock them back a little bit more, because like there's a shadow underneath the curtain, but it doesn't really show the jugglers, like it doesn't hit the jugglers really. Oops. Is this a new layer? It is. Huh. Do multiply. So I just kind of want to knock them back just a touch. Oh, why is that not working? Oh, because of the paint inside. Sheesh. It'd be nice if Fresco just read my mind. That would be even easier. And so I'm just going to put some of the gray in here. So that darkens it up a little bit. But the advantage here now is that even though that's darker, I can play around with this layer because it's all on its own. So this is it with nothing, like 0%. But I think if I just put like maybe 30-ish, then, see, it just knocks them back just a little bit. Just a touch. So that it gives it depth. It looks like they're inside the tent, but they're still clear enough that we can tell what's going on, which is super fun. Gives a little mystery. You want to go in the tent and see what's going on. Then they're not too in front, because remember, this card's going to be like really little, so we want to make sure that we're knocking things, like helping that layering along, because we only have a small space to tell a story with. And I'm also now thinking What if we did, because they also want to be performing in the dark, right? Oh, crap. Is this supposed to be a black and white card? That would be a bummer. Hang on. Did I make a mess? Did I make a mess? That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, pickles. Oh no, it's supposed to be a black and white card. That's okay. Because all I would have to do is bring this down. And then I need to do this. Oof. It's gonna be messy. Hang on. Nope, do this. This is why I do this with layers. Instead of painting it all black and white. Oops. Right, okay, and then I'm gonna bring pickles. No! Okay. Changing the plan. Hang on. So what I'm gonna do here is we're gonna lasso the boots. Okay. And we're going to cut this selection and then paste that selection. Leave it right where it's at and make sure it just pasted it as normal. So I want to do an overlay there. And then we'll do the same thing. Luckily these are nice and separate, so all I have to do is just make sure that that lasso covers the boots. Cut selection and just make sure that it's underneath that one and paste that selection and make sure that it's an overlay. Yay for layers. Okay, and then we do this again. But up here, and we cut, cut that selection, and then paste selection. And then, so the reason why we cut instead of delete, if I deleted, then I would just have to redraw everything. If you cut, then it deletes it from that layer but saves it, just like a cut and paste in Word or anything else. And it's maintaining that selection because I've done, the selection was still there. I think if I had deselected, it might have just kind of chosen a spot to put it, but because the selection was still there, I was able to fix this. Phew. Oh. Alessandra says, I hope we get to relax now, Penny, and have some poppy. Excellent choice. And Antoine says, yeah, you deserve it. She does. Take a bit of a break. I love it. Okay, so I fixed the mess that I made. I'm glad I caught that because it would have very much stood out. Because yeah, all the circus ones are black and white with the red, but that's, thank goodness for layers. So I'm going to go back up to what I was initially going to try and do. No, we need to be under the shadows, but oh, not those ones though. Okay, so we're going to do this because what I'm thinking is they're not going to be performing in the dark. So what if I did something like this? Whoops. And then this is just a normal layer. set to normal, sorry. Like it doesn't have like a filter effect on it or anything. I'm wondering, that's aggressive. If we have like a light, or if we have, can these go on top? Can this be a thing? And then I wonder if this comes down here. I'm just relayering to see if I can't play with what if I clear this layer and I do, I'm just trying to maybe make it look like a spotlight almost. I'm playing with something that I'm like on the fly here. I didn't even think this through before. So what if I go to this? And it can be the same thing. Now we can have a spotlight, which is kind of a cool effect. But maybe I bring it down like to an 80 or something. Interesting. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that. And then just pull some of this back. Just make it more dramatic. Ooh, intriguing. Okay. And then go back to the other eraser that we had. And I'm just going to erase out some of this. We're doing a 2-hour stream. Look what happened. I found a fun thing, and now I'm stuck. Too fun. This is inevitably what will happen. Just always surprise. Found a thing I want to fix. So this is really where that paint inside can really play the game. Really help me out, because then I don't have to worry about being too precise while I figure this out. Boop. You have the color gold to paint with? That's awesome. So fancy. Is it erasing anything? Oh, it's underneath that. That's why. Duh. Woo-hoo-hoo. Sweet. Well, I'm pretty stoked about that. Can I do... Is there a magic wand in here? There is a magic wand. I love when there's a magic wand. So the magic wand will kind of select anything on that layer, or like either around that object or that object, depending on where you click. I clicked outside of our little light ray, and so it select that. So I'm going to do an inverse here. So now just selecting our light ray. So now, and once you have that selection selected, you can move to any layer you want. So I'm actually going to create a new layer here because I'm running an experiment, and I want to make sure that the colors are going to work here, but it's all going to work within that. Now, hang on. Why? Oh, it's because it's too big. It's going to stay within that selection, just like all the other lasso business we've done. Oh, I know why it's gray. Because this gray layer is under top. So maybe I don't... No, I think I still need that. Or maybe we pull it back a bit. Sorry. So it's maintaining that selection the whole time. When I'm doing it doesn't affect that layer. Sorry, I'm having 8 thoughts at once here. Alessandra says, I'm gonna go grab water, don't leave yet. Okay, well let me know when you're back. Because I'm starting to get a little rambly here, so I'm gonna save you all from my chaos. So it's maintaining the selection, so we could go up into any other layer and erase or add or anything else if we wanted. I actually wonder if maybe we do a layer, move this layer to on top of this, meaning on top of the shadow we created, and I can just do a little bit of white. Because I felt like that starting point was a little dark. But I like the layering that we're getting. With this, if I take it out, it's still too bright. So I think it gives it the effect with that little bit of that white. Gives us that spotlight kind of effect. Now I need a little bit more. What happened? Come on, bring it back. There we go. Need a little bit more under the arm here. Why won't that paint in the lasso? Because of the paint inside? That seems silly. There we go. So the paint inside seems to override the lasso a little bit, which seems a little odd to me. Now we'll take this off because these are like in front of the highlight. Okay, so what are we thinking? And now I can play with that a little bit more. That scaling up and down, it affects the opacity. So if I make it a lot lighter, we can see everything through it, but it lightens it up a little bit. So that's why I like to have them on different layers, because then I can play around with what works. But I think I am going to pull it. I think the 100 is harsh. Sorry, I need to a point that's not pixely. Pull it back just a touch. All right. Okay, so I do still have some effects to add here and everything, but I'm kind of like super living for this. This is super fun. I was super excited to do this guy's coat, and I'm really glad that I chose red so that it was not now a black and white coat. All right, Alessandra's back. Woohoo! Okay, well, I think this is going to be a logical break point for me. Still a few little touches to put on here, a few adjustments and things, but you'll see this guy go up this weekend and be posted. But for now, I am going to go and chill with Mr. Mojo. So thank you everybody for being here, for RB and Dan being here early on, for Antoine, Penny, and Alessandra being here later on. I appreciate that. Anybody who's been here just kind of like chilling and lurking, I appreciate you all. You guys are so much fun. I hope you're all having a great start to your week. I hope you're able to find some joy in the snow. And I'm going to do my best to catch some streams soon. I'm out of town this weekend, but hopefully we'll be having some more stream time together soon. Thanks so much, everybody, for being here. Have a beautiful week. Thank you, Antoine. You too. And I will catch you all next week. Thanks, guys. Bye.